Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to the Wednesday, August 2 Days of Our Lives spoilers recap, Lai Shin informed Wendy Shin that his second match resulted in a poor date. Melinda Trask ended up commiserating with Lai because she had a rough date of her own. Wendy became worried when she learned Lai was going out with Melinda one more tonight and giving her another opportunity. Wendy forewarned that Melinda might have planned this in an effort to obtain a taped confession once more. Lai, on the other hand, stayed positive and informed Wendy that this would be a great chance for her to spend some alone time with Trip Johnson, Lucas Adams, Steve Johnson, Stephen Nichols, who heard about Lee's terrible night with Melinda and the fact that he was making it difficult for Trip to have time alone with Wendy, met up with Trip at the hospital. Trip wasn't really planning on making himself scarce with Kayla Johnson, despite Steve's offer of his home and suggestion. Trip informed Wendy unexpectedly that he had reserved a room for them at the Salem Inn whenever he got home. Wendy appeared enthused about their romantic evening together as she raced to pack her luggage after giving Trip a kiss. Abe Carver, meantime, didn't spot anything at Paulina Price's apartment that he recognized, and he declined all the food she had prepared because he wasn't very hungry. A big kiss from Paulina followed her suggestion to watch a love story, but Abe backed away in shock and questioned what the hell was happening. Paulina then apologized for trying to rekindle Abe's memory in the wrong way and for coming on too strong. Abe still didn't know Paulina, so she excused herself to go cry in the other room. Paulina answered the door after Abe called Steve and invited him over. Abe acknowledged that he needed a place to stay because he was uncomfortable living with Paulina there. Abe was determined to leave even though Paulina claimed that this was his home and pleaded with him to give it more time. He hoped he could rely on Steve to be a friend. Abe was taken back to his guest room after Steve gave him permission to stay with him for however long he needed. On Wednesday's episode of Days, Nicole Walker ran into Eric Brady outside the bar and mentioned how Sloan Peterson accidentally opened the results of her genetic test. Sloan didn't mention anything about opening them herself, which surprised Eric, since Nicole's findings weren't yet out. She also found it odd that Sloan received them at all, but Eric assumed it was all part of the misunderstanding. Sloan complained to Melinda about the judge's harsh sentence of 20 years in jail after Colin Bedford was sentenced. Melinda attempted to cheer Sloan up by pointing him that Colin could yet be granted parole. Melinda could sense Sloan was bothered by something when she told her about her disastrous date with Alex Kyriakis, Robert Scott Wilson, and her interest in Lai. Sloan then asked if she may tell Melinda something in complete confidence as a result. Melinda vowed to keep the information a secret after Sloan emphasized that she couldn't tell a soul. Sloan received a call from Eric asking to meet up to chat after she acknowledged that this was about Nicole and stated her pregnancy. Sloan ignored Melinda's complaints that he had abandoned her and hurried out instead, acting as though nothing had happened. On Wednesday's DOL episode, Sloan asked Eric what he wanted to talk about before informing him of Colin's 20-year prison term. Eric brought up his interaction with Nicole and questioned Sloan's silence over picking up Nicole's DNA test results. Sloan dismissed it as a simple oversight, but Eric found it strange that Sloan failed to first check the name on the envelope. She explained that she was worried about their kid and only wanted to make sure he or she was okay, while Sloan protested it was the nurse's responsibility. Since this was beginning to feel like an interrogation, Sloan eventually lashed out at Eric. However, she instantly apologized and explained that she was furious because of Colin at the time. Sloan looked bad over Eric's shoulder as they hugged because he realized he had been insensitive when he mentioned how they were a family with their baby now. In the Days episode airing on Wednesday, Lee grinned as he sat down at a table with Melinda. When Melinda remarked that she had brought them their favorite bottle of wine, Lai immediately thought of Wendy's earlier admonition that Melinda could try to set him up once more. Lee then pretended to forget about what he had to accomplish as a result. As soon as Lee sped away and left Melinda by herself, she appeared disappointed. Nicole arrived back at Paulina's house in the hopes of running into Abe. Nicole was informed by Paulina that because Abe moved out, she would need to look elsewhere. Talia Hunter was upset in the town square on Wednesday's episode of Days after Colin told her that she belonged in jail just as much as he did. Ravensbowen's Channel Dupree believed that Talia was performing community service, while vicious Colin received a 20-year sentence. Talia had a lot to make up for, but she had also been the target of emotional abuse from Colin. Finally, Talia said she missed Channel and offered to buy her dinner. Talia's successor at the bakery sucked, according to Channel, who said that she missed Talia as a co-worker and friend. Talia brought up catfish during their meal together and reminded Channel of Paulina's homecoming for Abe. Channel hoped everything was going well, because that was one of the dishes Paulina had made, even as she appeared anxious to her mother. According to Days of Our Lives spoilers, Paulina and Abe will face additional challenges in the future. Week of August 7, bakery disaster, grand gesture, and stunning secrets unravel. According to Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week of August 7 to 11, Maggie Kyriakis will finally learn Sarah Horton's important secret. When Maggie learns that Sarah is carrying Xander Cook's child, she will understand that Bonnie Kyriakis has also been keeping this information hidden. Marlena Evans will see a breathtaking scene in Bayview. Given that she will reportedly need to be put under sedation at some time, Ava Vitali might experience some form of delusion and outburst as a result. Even yet, Days spoilers indicate that Ava will be healthy enough to spend some time bonding with Harris Michaels, allowing them to establish a friendship and perhaps create the foundation for a future relationship. Fans of DOL may anticipate Sean Brady returning to work after his suspension. That will increase the guilt, particularly if Sean is appointed police commissioner after his return. Days spoilers indicate that Sean will experience conflicting feelings over his new position. As a result, he might feel awful about accidentally terminating Rafe Hernandez and then potentially taking over his job. Gwen Rizchek will then understand that Leo Stark is trying to keep his lover a secret from her. It's possible that Gwen visits Leo's room at the Salem Inn and discovers that he's got another man there. Gwen might see that as a signal to leave, but she'll also be perplexed as to why Leo is keeping so much of the new man in his life a secret. Fans of DOL are aware that this is the case since Dmitry von Leuschner wants to keep his secret romance with Gwen hidden. Channel Dupree will address an issue at Sweet Bits, according to other Days spoilers. Since Stern Clint Rawlings is still serving as acting mayor, it might result in Channel's bakery being shut down once more. In any event, Channel will rely on Johnny Demerit in the aftermath, which might present an opportunity for these ex-lovers to mend fences. Paulina Price will make a moving appeal that has a connection to Abe Carver's future, while Trip Johnson plans a spectacular gesture for Wendy Shin. Paulina will likely try to persuade Abe to return to the apartment. However, she might enlist assistance from a third party. Brady Black will surprise Chloe Lane by planting a kiss on her across the street. Given that Belle Brady would eventually square off against Chloe, that action might enrage Belle Brady. Belle might claim that Chloe is playing Brady like a fool, or even suggest that the entire custody dispute is her fault. Brady will have to consent to the new custody arrangement, which means that now that Kristen Demerit is in charge, he can only visit Rachel Black under supervision. While Chad DeMiro will later express his appreciation for E.J. DeMira's advice, it is probably not a good idea to pay attention to his troubled brother. Chad might make a presentation and attempt to entice Yuri Kasnov back to Titan after Stephanie Johnson successfully persuades Yuri to return to Salem. That may put Alex Kyriakis' new basic black contract in peril, which is why Stephanie later engages Chad in a combative exchange. Finally, Rex Brady will make a suggestion to Sarah, which might entail a strategy to keep Xander unaware of his pregnancy for as long as possible. Stay with us for updates on when Xander will receive the terrible news, because Days of Our Lives spoilers state that he must discover the truth at some point. Thanks for watching if you like this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.